this is Helen with The Better Half. Thanks for joining me today. So today I promised you guys that I will show you my lineup for 2021. And yes, I'm a little bit overwhelmed with everything that is piled up on this desk right now, but I will share with you that a lot of these are journaling and things that are having me to feel okay with all the crazy schedule in my house and this pandemic and just dealing with different things in my life and just keeping it very positive. And that's just me. That's how I am, and I like to keep things positive, but I also need to, that means work on me and not ignore my own emotions, which is just as important as, you know, getting things done. So let's start from the top. Where do I start? Okay, so I'm going to share with you the 2021 planners that I have picked out for myself that will be working for me to create positivity and productivity in my life. So here we go. So let's put some things aside. From the top, I have this beautiful techo. This is a Hobonichi techo that I ordered from a Hobonichi store at from Japan. And basically what it is it's going to have, I was thinking I was going to put you know, like different things, memory keeping, but what I've decided to do with this techo is in A6 size is to create a recipe book for myself and my children. So every year I'm going to, well, hoping that it'll work this year, I have created some goals for me in this recipe book, and it's to learn new recipes throughout the year, cook 90 meals a month, LOL, spend less on food, and don't waste. So I hate throwing away old vegetables and things like that. So I just want to have a reason to cook every day and keep it really exciting. And so I'm going to be using this techo to kind of do that. So let's start from the beginning. We have this yearly view, and it's basically, I'm just going to use this, probably not use this very much, but what I've decided to do is here, whenever I home cook, right here, I am going to be highlighting going down the line. And whenever I, you know, learn a new recipe, I'll probably write it right here and just kind of color in, and just whatever I come up with to kind of help me make this fun, because I do try to cook as many meals as I can at home. I'm going to use that, these trackers as trackers. So then it goes into the monthly view, and what I've decided to do here was just kind of jot down what I have cooked during these days of the week throughout the month. And so I'm just going to put a dish, you know, a big highlight of the day, you know, big win for me and what I cooked in this calendar view. And then what I'm going to do on daily side, because Hobonichi Techo does not come with weekly, but they do come with the monthly calendars and the daily. And so on the dailies, whatever new recipes that I learn, I'm going to jot it down here, maybe some pictures, I'll clip some pictures in here, so on and so forth. And also my own recipes I am going to add in here. So throughout the year, as I do this and I fill out these pages, I will let you know how I did and things like that. Now, the other thing that I did think about, and this might change along the year, is that I was planning on maybe using the monthly view as kind of like my index for the day. So for instance, let's say I cooked chicken pasta, Helen's chicken pasta. Then I'll put Helen's chicken pasta here on the top, and then I'll put the recipe, the ingredients, the recipe, and maybe clip some photos in here. And then on the January 2nd, I will write Helen's chicken pasta here. So it might kind of play as a table of contents for me. I'm not sure, but that's kind of how I'm going to be using this cute little techo in the A6 size. So I'm really excited about that. My girls are excited about this because they want to learn my recipes. So that's how that goes. Now I have 3 Nolties, and so these 3 Nolties are going to be very, very special for me because What I am planning on doing with these Nolties, now they're a little bit different inside. So these two have the weekly view in a vertical way with a little space here on the sidebar and a little space on the bottom to jot down stuff. And then this one, this Nolty actually has, oh, this is the same Nolty. And then this Nolty is Listy 2, and what this does is, so it's 6501, the vertical view, 6502, the horizontal view. And so what I'm going to be using these for are as follows. So this is going to be my main work planner. And so what I do in here, this is not my daily planner, this is my work planner. So what does that mean? Is I already started using it in the month of December. What I'm doing is I'm going to be doing a lot of brainstorming. So this is more of a weekend project where I sit down, I have some time, you know, grab a cup of coffee or tea and just sit down and jot down some deadlines for myself and the company, and do different kind of, I just brainstorm maybe the first couple of months of using this. And luckily, Nolty starts in the month of December this year and going into the months into 2021. And so I started using this just kind of as a practice run. Nothing has to be put in stone and perfect, but just basically jotting down my deadlines. And the ones that I've highlighted in this brownish color are things that I need to kind of give myself a deadline on. And these are kind of repetitive things that I may or may not be using to write it down in the following months, just because it's repetitive and it's things that I do every 2 weeks, like paying people, right? Paying our team. So basically, I have some the reason why I decided to do this was because last year I had a couple of planners, which is my passion planner, daily and the weekly one. And basically what I did was I just had my regular stuff scheduled and everyday kind of task or weekly task, if you will, but I didn't really get to brainstorm into like a bigger projects. Which I would have loved to do. And that's another video that is going to be coming up, what I wish I did more of and less of in 2020 going into the new year. So this planner is basically where I sit down and I jot down some ideas and I just really brainstorm and break things down into actionable items, from big projects to little bite-sized chunks that I can get done throughout the week. For example, I have this box that I'm creating, and let me see if I can show you. Give me a second. So it's a new box that I am designing for our company, and this is our current box for our company. I know, it's cute, right? So there's, inside is all red and it has some words and things like that. And so we're changing up our packaging a little bit for 2021. And so we have two different boxes coming up. And so these boxes I am starting to put into here and designing. So on Saturday, this Saturday on the 5th, I will be placing the order for the new boxes. And so I'm just jotting down different ideas, things, thoughts, and I'll probably use maybe these notes in the back and see. And also we've got some new projects, huge projects throughout the year that are coming up and that we're developing right now. And so with that being said, I just have it throughout and just kind of use the whole month of December to kind of jot down my ideas and thoughts of what little actionable items I can get done. And just, you know, for example, if I say virtual study club, that's something that's coming up, and that's something that I will be brainstorming during this time. So going into that, before I go to the next Nolty, let me show you what my brainstorming looks like. Okay, so my brainstorm looks like this. So this is my brainstorm journal. So I kept it black, nice leather, and this is a shop that I found on Etsy, and she just shipped it out real quick. And so I didn't pay much for it. It was on sale as well. It was like $17, $18. and then with shipping probably around $30. So it was not bad. So I used this A5 size Stalogy notebook, and I love this because it's just really free, and they're just gridded, and they have little dates and things that you can mark on top, but I really don't use that for this function. It's just a place where I just brainstorm, I jot down ideas, it's messy, sometimes I'm journaling in there, and it's just something that, you know, where I feel like if I need to get things out, I just get it out, and just kind of try different things. And so this journal is basically used for that purpose. And then this one is my work focused journal, where it's a Hobonichi day free, and it looks like this. And I'll just be keeping it in here for the purpose of keeping it, you know, nice and safe and clean. I just have, you know, a bunch of ideas for the projects. And this is what I will be using to just brainstorm. So when I put here on Nolty that I need to focus on virtual study club, for example, on the 8th, what I will be doing is I will be going into this journal and just brainstorming about virtual study club. And I've already started doing that here. So we're just doing some brainstorming session over here. Just continue in this journal. And so I love that. And so that's what these two are for. So let's get that out of the way. My second Nolty is a camel, and I just love Nolty, and sometimes I just, throughout the last several months as I've had these planners in my hands, I just been thinking, wow, that's a lot of planners, that's a lot of journaling, that's a lot of writing. Can I handle it? And is it worth it? Is it going to really help me to produce? And so remember, in my planning style, it's all about functional planning, because I just don't have the time to sit here and make it pretty, or, you know, do all these artsy things that a lot of you guys do, because you guys are so good at it. I'm just not talented in that area. My brain functions a little differently. And so I am more of just messy. I try to be a little artsy, but it's never comes out the way you guys do it. But basically, it's very soft cover. It's not leather. It looks like leather, but it's not leather. It is kind of like plastic rubbery feel. And in here I have like the whole holiday, the fun holidays printed out in quarterly views. And so that is going to help me with social media. And then here, this is going to be solely used for this channel, and what I will be developing, because I'm just going to have fun this year, and then, you know, going into 2020, just have a lot of fun with you guys, learning from you, and also hopefully inspiring you to do, you know, some things differently to maybe benefit your planning system. So, so this one is going to solely be on that, and just planning on, right now I'm actually doing one YouTube video per week, because that's kind of like the time schedule that I'm allowed, but I would love to do more. And so I'm just starting to plan out, possibly next week, hopefully I can do this update too, where it's just basically a planner review on each week of how I'm using the planners, what has changed, what has worked, what didn't. And just really that part is going to be like, if I start doing that YouTube videos on Saturdays, it's basically going to be a lot of help for me to stay accountable to my planning systems and just really keep at it to see what works for me. And because that's the whole point, right? Is just to get, and so these are my YouTube ideas, kind of my social kind of idea brainstorming here. So this is dedicated for this channel and my blog. And then this one is the other one that I will be dedicating towards my health. So this year, or 2020, one of my biggest goals is to really get my health back on track. A lot of it was ignored throughout the last several years, just because of so many things happening, and, you know, and our children growing up so fast, and me being focused more on children with dad traveling all the time. and also, you know, focusing on dad when he is here, to make sure he's eating good, and, you know, and so on and so forth. So this year in 2020, next year, I really want to focus on my health. And so I think a couple months ago, I went to an herbal medicine acupuncturist, and I did order some herbal medicine for myself and my husband. And, you know, I took that, and my husband's still going through his batch. But it was really helpful for me to get my blood pressure back in control because it's very low. And, you know, like basically he was telling me like coffee is really helping you to just keep in, you know, in your schedule and get you active, because my blood pressure is supposed to like have me go back to bed as soon as I get up. And so that was kind of scary to hear. And so I really want to focus on my health. So how I will be using this planner for that purpose. And here I was playing around with other things, but what I want to do is I want to kind of have a little bit set of goals. I'm not going to pay too much attention on the goals. However, this I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was playing and seeing other things. But what I do want to focus on is like my water intake, my weight. So these are things that matter to me in my health and fitness. My weight check, maybe I'll do it every day, maybe I won't. And that doesn't really matter to me, because like my weight is not my biggest problem right now. It's more of my health, right? And just keeping fit. So workout, you know, post-workout mood, maybe I'll do a little bit of journaling and see. Sugar intake, I really want to lessen my sugar intake, because you know, with the coffee, so coffee gets me with sugar. So coffee, I use a creamer that has sugar in it, and so I want to kind of eliminate that out of my life, because I was never a sugar person growing up, and so I want to get rid of that. So I just kind of want to give myself attention to this matter. And then self-care and development. You know, what workout I did, maybe I did some reading, I did some journaling, what really helped me, meditate, pray, read the Bible, go to church, whatever I did for myself, and for development of myself, that's what I will be jotting down here, maybe taking some classes online. And meal plan. So meal plan particularly for me, it's not going to be for anyone else but for myself. So that is kind of what I'm focused on here. And then I have the next planner, which is really exciting, is my Hobonichi in the cousin size, the A5 size. This is really exciting for me, because I am a first-time user with this cousin. And I've seen a lot of you guys using it in so many creative ways that I wanted to do my own kind of style of functional planning. So here's the backstory on this. I did realize that I wanted to do this planner this year as my main catch-all planner, as my passion planner last year was my main catch-all planner. So this basically kind of played as my memory keeping, and then my daily passion planner, which is a smaller size, kind of played as my daily to-do task oriented functional planning. So last year I did a lot of goal playing, and you know, did a lot of fun things and to get my creativity out. And then boom, pandemic happened. And so we were on social distancing order, and so a lot of things were, so I started playing around and didn't really get into it. Then I started to get myself back on track, and I was like, okay, I need to meal plan. I need to like get it together. So I was kind of playing around, learning how to doodle, you know, just having fun, doing things like that. I was starting to update and use it as a memory keep of what I did versus kind of like anything that I wanted to jot down for memory keeping. And a lot of this was functional planning over here. I try to go back, and it was hard with the pandemic. A lot of things were on pause. And so this is how I've been using that. Look, the month of August, it was just basically blank. I think I was more focused on daily tasks at this time, so I didn't really use this planner as much. September, I started to go back into my little planning and memory keeping, just jotting down different things that I did throughout the day, throughout the week, and planning. My best friend came on this, or no, my husband was traveling to Charlotte at this time, and my best friend was scheduled, she was here, and we went to Sedona together. We did like a little getaway with all the girls, her and her daughter, my daughter and myself, and we just had so much fun doing that. This, my best friend and I, we were hiking in Sedona and right by our hotel, and it was beautiful. It was amazing and much needed, because I was cooking by this time like every single day, 3 meals a day, and it was just like I needed a break. So here I came back from the vacation, and I just got really creative and had fun, you know, journaling. My little ones got black belts, and so I was journaling that. We did a little walkthrough, stuff like that. And then I found this thing, this little letter that my son, my number 3 out of the 4 kids, made me. And so I just kind of taped that in here, or stapled it in here. Did a lot of talking, journaling. I guess I had a lot to write about. So yeah, a lot to write about. So less photos and just a lot of writing, So I think I was just trying to exercise and get things out of my day. Kind of meditate on that. And so then I stopped using it right around here, just because I was already kind of migrating into my new planners that I got for 2020, the Hobonichis, just to practice for the following year and to test out what works for me. So going back to Hobonichi Cousin, this is how I will be using it. So I have this Hobonichi Cousin, and then I have, which is the full version. And then I have the other one coming on the way, and what that is Hobonichi Cousin, the same size, same outlook, in the Avec. So that is just breaking it, the year up into 2, and obviously making the planner a lot thinner, like maybe half the size is what I'm hoping that it'll be. And so I wanted to use that in here, and I ordered a cover for it from Hobonichi, so it's coming in a couple of weeks. But for the reason why I did that was because I wanted to use one of them as a functional planner. So what I've decided last night was I'm going to use the Avec as my functional planner. And so when I say functional planner, it's just going to be really, really messy. Not that I am very pretty and, you know, and the things that I do here in the planners, but I am going to keep that Avec very, very messy and super functional, and that's just going to be tossed out at the end of the year. This one, I decided I am going to keep it in this leather cover that I got off of Etsy with my name on it, last name on it. And I am going to use this one as a memory keep. So, so let's go through this real quick. So calendar view, haven't put a lot of thought into the calendar view, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. And as I go throughout the year, I'll show you more of what I'm going to be doing and how I'll be using it. This section in this memory keep, I will be using it as kind of like a index or table of contents, if you will, for my daily pages. So whatever I journal or, you know, scrap or whatever I do back here, I'm going to be using this and going into that day, like June 17th, June 17th, I'll just kind of index it. So for my monthly calendar view, what I will be doing is I am going to be using this as kind of like different birthdays and things, and you know, just highlight of the day, of each day. Maybe doctor's appointments, things, so where I can just go back into this one notebook and be able to find all the information of when the kid went to, because we have 4, when the kid went to eye doctor, you know, to different MDs, vaccinations, and so on and so forth. So that's how I'll be using these calendars. So a lot of just highlighting of the days here. The weekly view, what I'm going to do, I was playing with this to just kind of see if I wanted to use it in this way, but I'm going to be showing you my avec and how I'll be setting that up for 2022. Once that arrives, I'll do a whole video on that, on functional planning. So this one, I'll just kind of use it as my journal, just how I was doing in my passion planner, and just kind of like jotting down different things that happened throughout that week, just using it in a vertical view, maybe clipping some photos in here, and so on and so forth. So I'll be using it for that. And then in my daily view, I have this cute little thing from Hobonichi. And then in my daily view, what I'll be using it as is to just kind of jot down more of memory keeping. So if every page is not completely filled out, I'm okay with that. It's a matter of just me getting my journaling out at the same time, you know, just highlighting the different things that happen throughout the year in here. So that is what's important to me in memory keep. It's not so much that like, oh, I failed to fill out that whole week or that whole month. That's not going to really matter for me. So that's that. Let's go into my traveler's journal. So this one, Traveler's Notebook, I just kind of ordered this as for fun. I'm not traveling so much right now, obviously. I used to travel extensively prior to, but I'm not anymore. And so not sure how long that's going to be, but I've ordered some inserts in here. This is the Tomoyo River paper. I just love the feel of it. And I have a lot more of inserts to go into these journals, to this Traveler's Notebook, but it's basically a standard size, and I am just going to keep it in my basket, in my closet, just for that perfect time when I do start to travel again, and kind of jot down, you know, the different things that happen there. Since I won't be traveling with my memory keepsake, this is a huge journal to take around. I'll just kind of probably jot down ideas, things, postcards, and things that go in here that maybe I want to migrate into my memory keep journal, or maybe I don't. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have 3 more that I will be sharing with you. I know this is getting long, but I just really am in love with journaling and just what it's doing for me these days. And so I'm really proud to be a part of this community. And I've been inspired by so many of you guys that I just want to kind of, if I can, in my own way, give back to just kind of give you my ideas of how I will be journaling and what's been working for me. So this is another Stalogy A5 size, the bigger size. And I've been using this as my 5-year memory keep. So I know that Hobonichi has their own, you know, like very beautiful leathery version. And I almost ordered it when I ordered the avec and a couple of gifts, Christmas gifts from Hobonichi this past week. But I decided not to and just stay here because I felt like, first of all, it's a waste. And second of all, I love the Stalogy notebook, and so on and so forth. But what's negative about this is that every single week I am having to draw these lines, and for the 5 years, and so that's kind of what I'm doing here. And basically just highlighting each day throughout the next 5 years. And so I just been starting this. I saw a lot of you guys doing this. So I started this in October 27th. And and look, I totally gooped and I missed that one day. And so I just been journaling, and I think I need to catch up because this is November 23rd here. And we're on the 30th of November today because I'm filming one day early. And so I just need to write these or draw these lines and write out the dates. And it's a little extra work, but once I do it throughout the rest of the book, I think it'll be easy going forward because, you know, I have 5 years on it and I just want to keep it nicely like that. Okay, and then this one, I know a lot of you guys use a separate goal planner, but what I've decided to do was, for me, goal setting a lot of the times is not really helpful to me when it comes to functional planning or getting things done to reach my goals. But what necessarily has helped is, did I even make sense? What has helped me was me kind of creating, having the different ideas of projects and then actually brainstorming upon each project and kind of doing an analysis of why this project, why not, and all the different, you know, questions and interviews to myself and my team that will be working on that particular project throughout the year with my business. And so for me, it was more of a hassle to write down goals versus writing down the actual projects that I have ideas for, that I have been inspired to write down, and then going through each project to brainstorm, or first initially pre-screen, right, that interview and ask myself all these questions and my team, and then to go into like actionable items and breaking it down into timeline and deadlines and what, you know, delegations and so on and so forth. So here is something that I found on Amazon with a lot of research and a lot of doing a lot of things to just kind of find this journal. This is called Hatch. And so what this does, and I haven't really started using it just because I wanted to show you what this looks like, is basically you write down a bunch of ideas, right, for your projects. Or products that you want to launch. And then from there, what happens is you jot down all these ideas and then you go into, for different companies or personal, whatever it is. And then you then go into kind of like your brainstorming session. And so these are just kind of just looking like a bullet journal and it's just dotted. You go into extensive amount of just idea brainstorming, so on and so forth. So then I take the first idea that I had written down here, right? So MAP Virtual Study Club, I take that and I write MAP Virtual Study Club, and this is kind of my interview session right here. Description of this idea or project or product or whatever goal. Definite features, possible features, market, audience, demand, how will it add value to people's lives, you know, that will be affected by this. Does it already exist? If so, how can I make it better? How will it be made? And possible challenges, what resources will you need? Money, people. So this is where I write down like the amount of money, that investment that I'll be needing for this project or whatever. And then people, what teammates I want to pick from the company to join me on this project. Possible spin-offs or extensions. You know, so these are like add-ons, right? So add-ons is always good in any business, any product that you launch, right? Why do you want to make this? How would you define success? Further research sketch. And then this might be a good time to share your idea and engage response and get feedback from, you know, the people that will be joining this project or buying from this project or so on and so forth. Evaluation and decide. So maybe I will kind of copy this idea and put it on a survey, a short little survey for my clients or whatever, who I will be selling this to, and just doing it that way. And so that is called the incubate stage. Now you go into the next stage, which is hatch. And so here, and they give you kind of the idea of how this is going to actually be born. So this great idea then becomes a project at that point. So if it passed your kind of your incubate stage, now it's going into your projects stage. And so with that being said, of course, you already brainstormed back here, and so a lot of this project specification and scope will be coming out of this brainstorm session over there. And actionable steps, tasks, who will be doing it, because remember, we picked our team here during the incubate stage, the due dates, and so a little bit more. Does this blank page scare you? Flip to page 152 for tips on how to start hatching your ideas. So they keep you really kind of educated in how to use this journal. But I plan on using it as a very creative self practice here. And then it just goes into a launch, and so, or release. And so that's how I'll be using this journal. More than goal setting, I'm going to be practicing this. And this has worked for me in my businesses so far to release, launch products and ideas into fruition and get me success. And so that's how I will be using Hatch. Okay, so this is my Filofax Malden in the color gray. And so this is a leather planner, personal size. And I am using this currently, not because of by choice, but because I have to. So before, what I was doing in my last video, like even just last week, what I was doing was I was carrying a separate wallet, and then I was carrying my, where did it go? My little cute little, ooh, I have planners falling all over the place. In my cute little Travelers leather Hobonichi Weeks, and so I was carrying this around, and as you to put any credit cards or bank account, you know, cards, driver's license and things like that. So what I was doing was I was carrying this, and I have another wallet that's this size that I love, and so I was carrying both of these in the car like this. And as I have shared in my last video, I do a lot of driving throughout the day the last several months. And so with that being said, it's just too redundant for me to like carry a purse and put these in the purse and go out and drive for 30 minutes, come back home and take it all out and then get back to work. It was just too much work. And so what I did was just carry the wallet and this, and you know, and just, it was a lot of like moving around in the car. It was just getting messy, and I was getting a little bit annoyed. And I do clean my car like every single week, once or twice a week, to make sure I keep my car clean. And so what I decided for 2021 is I need something, because I just absolutely love Hobonichi Weeks to carry and for my daily carry, and migrate all my functional planning from the Hobonichi. I will be migrating it into here to have my actionable items here, and I love that. And so this is this week, right? Today is Monday, and this is my YouTube video, you know, and so I have everything planned here, and I love it. It's on the go, it's to take. Anything in red is just like things I have to go somewhere to do, and everything else is a task related. And I just love this Hobonichi Weeks so much that I will not give up on this. I'd rather just not carry a wallet. No, I'm just kidding. I need the wallet. So what I decided to do is grab my Malden, my ring, and use this as kind of like my wallet. And because I carry cash as well, I needed like a cash place. And so that's the only reason why I'm using this Malden right now. I love this Malden, don't get me wrong, and perhaps I will go back to a ring planner type in the future. But right now, I just love the way it opens, the way I can write on it peacefully without worrying about these rings getting in my way, or, you know, things like that. And so I really attempted, I really did, to put stuff here to kind of use this ring finder again, but a lot of this information is repeated from here, and I don't need that in my life. I really don't. So what I'm doing is I'm temporarily using this, but I did order Gilio for this Hobonichi Weeks. I think it's called a Punto. And so that's coming in the way. I just got a notice in the email that they did ship it out. And so I have my cards here. I have not much. I don't use this coin pouch because obviously it's really, really tiny. So I have this to carry like my important cards, and every other card I had to put aside because I obviously cannot fit it in here. And I was trying to fit it in here, but I was like, that's so annoying to get out anyway. So I just picked my top cards that I use the most and I just left it in here. Because here is where I have my financials in the back. So I have this week's mega. And so what that means is this is the planning part and this is kind of like the notebook part. And I love that because it's so many pages of notes that I can on the go brain dump, ideas, wish lists in general, and my financials. And so I've already done it for December. I've added my Amazon card, gas tracker, my Apple card, my Quicksilver, you know, different credit cards. And as I've mentioned before, as soon as I spend something, I write it down in here really quick. And so that's why I love this size to just carry anywhere. And so if I shopped online and use, let's say, my Discover card, I would put today's date. What was it? What was the category for my budget? So I need to know, is it for kids? Is it for the household? Is it, you know, beauty gifts? And then the amount and what is the balance now, running balance of, you know, the spending. And as soon as these post on my Discover card, I just pay it off. And so that's why this tracker is really important to me. And lately I've been using my Amazon card more. So I just obviously have a bigger space for that. But I have that, my Apple card, I rarely use except for Apple products. And so I just have that. And so I have migrated from this Hobonichi Weeks into this Hobonichi Weeks Mega already. I got this little thing and I was inspired by, I can't remember who, but it was just like, it was really cute. It just sticks into the back pocket and it goes like this. And you basically, you just close it and you go boom and it's shut. And so this will be, is my carry, my daily carry. So this is my daily carry for now, temporarily for the next several weeks until I get my Gilio in, and I'll share with you once that comes in. So there you have it. This is my planner lineup for 2021. I'm really excited, and my journals. So, you know, one thing that I do want to mention in this journey is that journaling has been so amazing for me. I never realized how much journaling can do for a person because, as I mentioned in my previous video, I have been doing digital planning for years. And so for me, I was kind of like forced to get out of digital planning because during the pandemic and when school started, our 4 children were all on computers and devices, and I really did not have access to my own, you know, 2 devices, and my iPad and my phone. It was just not the same view for my Notion planning. And so it was really difficult for me to continue being productive while the kids were staying home and doing their online schooling. So I basically was kind of forced to figure out a different way to get me productive. But at the same time, once I started on that journey to stay productive and just simply was looking for planner ideas. And I wasn't even looking at analog planner ideas. I was just looking up planner ideas in general, like functional planning. And I got into this analog and I love it. I just never realized how much I love it and how much of my creativity actually expands when I put pen to paper. So I love that. And then secondly, once I started that journey and just kind of researching on functional planning, I realized a lot of you guys were journaling, And this has really, really helped me to like take my emotional, you know, whatever I'm dealing with throughout the day, to just like jot it down. And I don't have any rules for myself in my journaling. Like if I miss a day or a week, it's okay. I can go back to it. And if I feel like I'm not going to go back to it, obviously nothing really huge has happened, so I don't really go back to it. And that's okay with me. But what has really helped was, in just like creating this endless amount of just writing, drawing, practicing like calligraphy or whatever I want to, whatever I'm in the feel for that day, to just get it out. And then also just like jotting down, you know, some of my thoughts, and like if I was mad, just to like just kind of vent. You know, a lot of times we call our friends or we call our family or whatever to vent, but you know, a lot of times I started doing it in here. And I did my devotionals in here sometimes, and I think I'll be doing it in the Hobonichi cousin in 2021. But that has really helped me to not ignore my feelings, because as a mother, a lot of the times our feelings are a little less important throughout the day because we just have so many things to do. But that has really helped me. This journaling process has really helped me to just not ignore and really like confront my own emotions of what I'm feeling at that moment, and why I'm feeling that at that moment, and like what has triggered me, and from that trigger, what action did I take? Was I yelling? Was I shopping, spending money? Was I crying? Or, you know, was I exercising? Was I cleaning? There's so many things that I'm finding out for myself, about myself, through just this journaling process. And so I think I'm going to continue that, even if I do go back to my digital planners sometime. I will continue to journal and just really exercise and play and practice to really like pay attention to myself as well. So there you have it. This is what I've got going on, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of long, a lot of chatty moments here, but if you have any questions, please write them down below. And thank you once again for visiting, and I cannot wait. If you guys have any 2021 planner lineup videos, please comment down below so that I can come and visit your channel and kind of get inspired, because nothing here that I talked about is set in stone, because obviously I haven't really started to practice what I was saying just now. So if I could grab a couple more inspirations or motivations, I would love that. So thank you guys, and have a wonderful week, and hopefully I will post another video on Saturday, but if I don't, I'll see you on Tuesday.